Understandably so. We have another really weird strategy for you today, and I hope you guys enjoy this one. This is the lame into elephants. The idea here is to lame our opponents with our scout, and with that, set our opponent far enough back to wall up at home, go to 29 pop, and to build some glorious, glorious chunky boys. Now, the reason that I've picked Vietnamese in this particular strategy is for several reasons. One, we get to see the opponent's TC, and actually, we could already kind of try and lame that boar over there, but we're gonna run around trying to see if we can find some sheep. Two, who would ever expect elephants from Vietnamese? They have way better options. They could go for archers very easily. They could go for rattans. Also, knights, probably way more affordable and doable. 29 pop to go up is kind of ridiculous, and you're going to see that we're going to make some adaptations as we go along, as you always should in the Age of Empires game. If something isn't working exactly according to plan, you're going to have to adapt, and we're hoping that our opponent does not adapt if we do manage to lame some of his resources. But right now we haven't found any of Yellow's sheep. We do know about this boar over here, so we're going to try and take that. An unfortunate time for a scout to show up over here. Ugh. So we don't get any resources lamed. And look, there's sheep right here that Yellow hasn't even found at this point that we could easily lame as well, and we just completely we missed the mark on that one. So you know what? It is what it is. Now, the problem is, have we actually scouted all of our resources? No, we haven't found these two back sheep over here, and we're going to want to wall up like a little waller boy that we are as quickly as possible, because we're probably going to get rushed by a Mongols player. Mongols have very good options for rushing. They could go for scouts, and they can also go for archers. I think both are really good, and probably want to get up to their ultimate composition. And we did get these. Did we not find these sheep? Oh man, I didn't even realize this while I was playing. Oh, that's horrible. And we're never gonna find those again. And the worst part is, I should know, because these sheep spawned in this radius, that they should be somewhere within this radius, right? So I'm running my scout around in this radius, hoping that I'm gonna find it, and then I forget about it, and then this scout is just gonna be idle. No, he is going to continue in that radius. Can we find those two sheep? Oh you gotta be kidding me. Anyway, we are choosing to go. Did you lame my sheep? The lamer gets lamed. The lamer boy gets lamed. He did not lame my sheep. My sheep are right over here. I just didn't find them. And at this point, Yellow did not respond. He must be laughing to himself. You try to lame my boy, I scare you away. You got absolutely nothing. So as I was saying before, we are going to go for double-walled sections in areas that we consider to be questionable. And questionable, I mean where there's no villagers around to re-wall if needed. Other than that, we're going to try and keep everything as efficient as possible. And we still haven't clicked up, and we are going to just click up after this villager, just because we don't want to risk too much more. We want to be able to respond, and it's not exactly what I wanted. If I had lamed a couple of his resources, then I probably would have gone for 29 pop up, but you know what? It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just wing it. Now, we are going to want to have a whole bunch on gold if we do manage to ever collect 800 food. And the reason we want to have a whole bunch of gold is because it's going to be expensive. Actually, this might be slightly too many, but you know what? We're gonna just wing it. This is probably my second or third attempt over here, and oh no, you're kidding me, right? Okay, good. All right, never mind. I thought he was gonna find my sheep, and that was just gonna be. No, he did. I saw I saw it on the mini map. You Yellow, you. Oh man, so not only he did actually lay my sheep, that's hilarious. Not when I thought he laid my sheep, but he did actually lay my sheep. That's hilarious. Where's my scout over here? Oh, my scout is right over here. So now I realize that there's a scout down here, but that's actually not his starting scout. That's a secondary scout. Because his primary scout is somewhere over here. No, maybe that is his starting scout. Okay, whatever. We're gonna take that hill bonus and we are going to fight that, no problem. And now I know there's something. Oh, there's another scout. There's a stable scout rush coming, which is actually not. And I'm going to just run this around as long as possible just to keep that scout idle. We don't want to show our hand. We want to create stables in the middle or in the back of our base just so that our opponent doesn't see it. And we're going to try and get up to castle as quickly as possible, but we have way too much wood and not enough food. So as long as we can keep those scouts out, I'm feeling actually pretty good about the situation here. So there's nothing to be found over here. There's no holes. I swear to God, if there's a hole, we're just walling up areas that we think might be at risk at some point. Even made 1 or 2 spearmen just in case. Gonna double wall this, gonna double wall this. There's no villagers over here. You know, just walling in all the risky areas and having some spearmen behind. Just in case. We don't want to invest too much because we really do want to go castle as quickly as we possibly can. And I'm feeling pretty alright about the situation. If we look at the vill count actually, for whatever reason, maybe for those scouts, it looks like Sky actually did have some idle pop and idle TC time and didn't produce villagers the entire time. And as long as we can stay nice and safe in here and nothing bad happens, which nothing bad ever happens to the Poop Lord. And honestly, this is not the way I like to play the game. I like to be aggressive. I like to go out there. I like to do what Yellow is doing right now. So this was definitely a challenge for me to make this work. But we did manage to get 2 stables up. We've made it to Castle Age. And now we just gotta bank those resources. Even getting the blacksmith upgrades because we want to get that defense for our elephants as possible. I've played around with this a bunch of times. Sometimes I don't get it. Sometimes I do get it. Let's see what I decide to do. I get a horse collar. Yeah, horse collar is kind of important. And actually, this might seem like an excessive amount of farms, but I tried a whole bunch of times, and you would not believe how expensive elephants really are. I think it's like 80 gold as... Oh, D, don't tell me you crap. Okay, good. Wonderful. Just the things. Elephants are 120 food and 70 gold. That's super expensive. And Vietnamese have so many good options. They even get Imperial Skirm, they get Arbalest, so going into the Archer line is totally justified, in my opinion. I think you can even go, let me see, you could even justify going Champions, although they do miss Blast Furnace at the end. Regardless, my point is that elephants are expensive and they're way heavier on food than they are on gold. A tower coming up on my gold, as I mentioned that's not great. So we are getting that Pierce defense. That way we'll be able to raid TCs for significantly longer. Elephants have tons and tons of HP, and you know what? I saw that tower up, and we're not taking any risks. We have the additional stone, so might as well. I think we actually sell 100 stone to just have a little bit of extra, and now we're gonna try and pump out as many chunky boys as possible. Yellow, meanwhile, is fed up with all these walls and doesn't want me to wall behind, so it's cranking out skirmishers. That's fine. Once again, we're going to check out Yellow's perspective over here, and we're going to see what he's actually able to see. So he's not able to see, and this is key, he's not able to see all of this area down here. So he's not able to see, just barely not able to see that stable. He does not know what's coming his way. He might think that scouts might be coming. He might think that knights might be coming at some point. I have made it to Castle Age. He's getting elite skirm. He might think archers are coming, which is pretty common from Vietnamese. Little does he know, there's a whole bunch of chonky boys waiting around the corner. And here they come. Chunky boys! I didn't want him to harass my gold anymore, and I felt like we had enough chunky boys to make this happen. We have a total of 15, 16 chunky boys, and if we look at the military stats, we are 16 to 8. There is a mangonel over here. Cool. What's that mangonel going to do against all of our chunky boys? And once again, we're just making sure that he does not come in our base at all. We want to be able to produce chunky boys as much as possible. Did spot that mango, and that elephant is going to handle that as well. Woman, dodge, 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 dodge the tower, dodge the tower, dodge. Oh, that woman did not. This woman did. That woman did not. It's actually a good play to try and harass the gold. Now we're thinking, okay, where should our primary point of attack be? He actually went for 2 TCs, thinking that he was behind in eco, which he kind of is to a certain degree, although now it's even, but we have way more military numbers. Actually, for a while there, we weren't producing additional villagers either, just so that we could get those elephant numbers up as much as possible. So whenever we see a single spearman, we do want to take out the singular spearman first, because they get that bonus damage against us. And we're just going to try and raid everything. I could have gone for that TC, but we decided to just plow right through, right into the main eco, see what we can get some idols and whatnot. Also, I have had several games in which the elephants were not enough, especially if they go for a monastery fast enough. Monasteries can be absolutely detrimental. So what I like to do behind this is I like to focus back on eco, and I like to transition into wood economy to then maybe eventually get arbs up at some point. We're just murdering absolutely everything around here. While we're doing that, we're going to just take down this TC. Why not? We still have a total of 14 chunky boys over here, and this is relatively well protected. I did realize that there were 2 scouts over there. He actually walled in his scouts of his own house, but we're not too concerned about 2 scouts getting into our base. Even has another layer of protection behind it. And I was surprised how well this was working, so you know what? Full send. Once something's working, full send. Get additional cavalry that's a little bit quicker to get over here as quickly as possible, do some raiding, because I realized that he was running all over the place, and they can't even arrive yet because the GG is called. Oh, I'm so happy this worked. I tried this so many times, and so many times this failed absolutely miserably. It's pretty easy in 1v1s to counter this, especially if you get halbs and monks out. I don't even want to talk about what what happened in the games where my opponents picked Aztecs. Let's take a quick look at the statistics. Yeah, absolute decimation of his pop. We went for food and we went for gold. It is kind of an awkward transition if the chunky boys don't work out, to then transition into archers. I'll show a game of that as well. But overall, I was very, very pleased with the ultimate results. I actually had higher villager count. I think he over-invested into feudal aggression. Yeah, you can see a whole bunch of investment was made in feudal. No investment was made. We had a clear plan. Go to Castle Age and produce elephants. That's my scout dying. That's me creating 1 spearman. Other than that, nothing else. That spearman dying, and then just going for the chonkas. Big chonkas. Big chonkas. We don't run, we walk, big chonkas. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I misspoke, and I said watching instead of walking. You know what? I can't do anything right in my life, so I guess that's why they call me the Poop Lord. Have an absolutely fantastic day, and keep enjoying Age of Empires. This was a difficult strategy for me to pull off, just because of the eco required for it. I'm not much of an eco player. I'm more of a, I don't care about my eco as long as my military is doing damage kind of a player. So this was definitely a switch up for me. It's probably also why I haven't made the Teutonic Fortress work yet. But with that being said, I want to say